In a world ancient and wild, long before cities touched the clouds and nations formed their borders, there lived a young man named Jacob. His journey would lead him through valleys of uncertainty, mountains of sacrifice, and ultimately into one of the most tender love stories in Scripture. This is the story of Jacob and Rachel, a story of destiny, patience, courage, and love that refused to fade. Jacob's life began with struggle, even from birth. He held onto the heel of his brother Esau. As they grew, the differences only deepened. Esau, the hunter, strong and wild. Jacob, gentle, thoughtful, a man of quiet strength. But after tension rose between them, Jacob fled his home to avoid danger and to find a new beginning in the land of his uncle Laban. Day after day, Jacob traveled beneath enormous skies, where the clouds drifted like slow-moving ships. Nights were cold and lonely, but Jacob pressed forward, not knowing that destiny was guiding his every step. One night, exhausted, Jacob lay down to sleep. And there, beneath the vast heavens, he had a dream unlike any other. A golden ladder stretched from earth to sky, with angels ascending and descending in radiant grace. A voice spoke, "I am the Lord, the God of your father Abraham and Isaac. I am with you, Jacob. I will keep you wherever you go." Jacob awoke with awe and trembling. He knew, truly knew, that he was not alone. With renewed strength, Jacob continued his journey. At last, he arrived in the land of Haran. And there, by a well, the heart of every ancient community, his life changed forever. Jacob saw several shepherds waiting to water their flocks. They greeted him warmly. "Friends, where are you from?" Jacob asked. "We are from Haran," a shepherd replied. "We know Laban, son of Nahor." Jacob smiled with relief. But before he could say more, the shepherds looked up, their faces softening. A young woman approached with her sheep. This was Rachael, Laban's daughter, a woman of grace, kindness, and quiet courage. The sunlight framed her silhouette as she came closer. Jacob's heart paused, not because of beauty alone, but because something within him recognized something within her. In a burst of strength, Jacob rolled away the heavy stone covering the well, a task meant for many men. Rachel watched, amazed. And in that moment, an unspoken connection formed, strong, pure, and unforgettable. Rachel hurried to tell her father. And when Laban learned Jacob was family, he embraced him with joy. Warm celebrations followed, feasts with bread, roasted lamb, figs, and sweet wine. Jacob stayed with Laban, working faithfully among the shepherds. And each day, he saw Rachel, her kindness, her humility, her dedication. Little by little, admiration grew into affection, and affection grew into love. One morning at dawn, Jacob stood before Laban, determination in his eyes. "I love Rachel," he said. "I will work for you 7 years if you allow me to marry her." Laban stroked his beard, thinking. Then he nodded. "It is better for her to marry you than another. Stay and work, and she shall be yours." 7 years. But for Jacob, those years passed like moments, because every sunrise brought a glimpse of Rachel, and every sunset carried her smile in his memory. Jacob worked with joy, not for riches, not for reward, but for love. Rachel, too, admired Jacob's faithfulness. She watched as he carried burdens without complaint, shared food with others, and protected the sheep during storms. Their love was gentle, respectful, and steady, like a river flowing quietly toward its destination. At last, the long years ended, and Jacob's wedding night arrived, filled with music, joy, and anticipation. The bride approached, her face covered by a veil. But as the night passed and morning light broke across the horizon, Jacob lifted the veil, and his heart turned cold. It was not Rachel. It was Leah, her older sister. "What have you done?" Jacob asked, his voice filled with hurt. Laban replied, "In our land, the older daughter must marry first. Complete the bridal week with Leah, then work 7 more years, and Rachel will also be yours." Jacob's heart shattered. The man who had worked in sunshine now faced a storm. Yet his love for Rachel never broke, not even for a moment. Jacob chose to stay. He chose to serve. He chose to wait, again, 7 more years. Days of sweat, nights of loneliness, seasons of patience. But love, true love, endures all things. And finally, at the end of those years, Jacob married Rachel. the woman he had loved since the moment he first saw her by the well. Together they built a home, raised children, faced hardships, and grew stronger with every challenge. Their journey was not perfect, but it was real, and it was theirs. The story of Jacob and Rachel teaches us that love is patient. Love is worth sacrifice. True commitment is not rushed, and God's timing is wiser than human desire. And what is meant for you will always find its way, even through delays, even through trials, even through heartbreak. Thank you for watching. Remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe for more inspiring stories of hope, faith, and love.